Hello, hello, everyone. How's it going? Gosh, it's so weird that I didn't stream yesterday, and I'm trying to get my chair to move a little bit, so it looks weird. Probably that I'm going back and forth. Okay, so back to London. It's been quite a move in Asia, to be honest. It's been quite some movement already. So I'm just wondering if we're going to have a lot of chop in London session. So I'm just looking at to start with gold. Let me check if everything. I see my screen is not done perfectly in OBS. Some things are, every time I start up now, it's something is off. It's like it changes everything. I think it's good now. I think it should be okay now. Let me know, guys, if there's something off or. Every time I switch off my laptop and I get back, it seems to be. I don't know. It changes something. Okay. Anyway, I'm just gonna check this sound as well. Gotta check everything. Is if there's something off? There we go. Okay. So weird to hear yourself. Um, I read something very interesting that we hear ourselves very differently than we sound. So that's why it's always like it doesn't sound like if you hear yourself, it doesn't sound familiar in a way. Um, okay, let's go over. Did anyone take a trade already? I think there's just one or two people here. And I posted this quote, but it and see but I think I think not really issue of 0.5 I had marked on the highest time. Let me say for sure as well. We have to just see. Now this pizza looks a little bit bullish to me. Maybe thank you. I am bringing up bad. Can't hear you. Thank you for that. I'm gonna test that on my own. See if it's my end. Hold on. We do have very bad weather. So that could be on my end. I hear, yeah. Let me try. I'm gonna test some things. Hold on, guys. And otherwise, it's just the internet because we do have issues here. Hold on. Just give me a sec, okay? I'm going to change some settings. Test, 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 test. Test, 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 test. Good now, right? Sorry about that, guys. Let me know if it breaks up again. Okay. Hey, Eugene, there you are, the man of the Discord. How's it going, Eugene? I'm having some problems with my mic, apparently, so I'm hoping it's not going to be too much of a hassle today. But we're back. Okay, so there is a big storm here. We have a lot of bad weather. So I might, if I might be cut off, it's not because of the weather, and then I might not be able to get on. So just so you know, we already have casualties in the country. It's not as bad here yet, but it suddenly can come here. So just a heads up for you guys, in case I just black out. You know what's going on. But that's that. But I guess the mic was a separate issue. But it should be okay now. Anyway, gold. Like I said, I think we're going up to go back down, but how far up, we'll see. We got some liquidity right on over there. It's a good thing that I came on earlier, right? So we can sort all these things out. So I like this liquidity up here, and yeah, I'll just we're in a macro, so I missed the trade because I was working on the, I guess on the. Let's see if the manipulation move is going to go. Yeah, it's most likely going to take out this level. Let's see if it goes over this level here. That's also quarter level. So I'm using those ICT levels. I'll show you guys. It's this wick, the daily wick. This large daily wick I'm using as a reference now. So it has to go over the 25%. This is the 1/3, and here's the 0.5 level. So I'm actually thinking it might either go into this area here. So if you're in a long, nice trade, and you still have a few minutes, because what happens with the macro, guys, especially when it starts running after being in consolidation. Let me go to the 1 minute. You see it starts running here at 253. Just always when you see it running after 253, be aware, especially when it gets to 3 o'clock and 3 after 3. Because it could, the macro sometimes, works until you can split it in half. Sometimes it used the first part of the macro to go to the upside, and then it used the second part either to reverse or just stall again. But because we've been in consolidation, there's a good chance it might run a little bit higher. But always be aware, especially if it takes out liquidity and you're it's 3 o'clock, 3 past 3. Be aware with your long, okay? Because the macros, especially because it started running right over here at 53. Time is very important. If you start watching these little things, and it's not always the same, but you'll see you'll start seeing things happen over and over and over, and the moment it does take out this liquidity, then be aware, watch the time. Because you're also at this quarter level as well. See, my computer is off a little bit. I'm wondering if something is wrong with my computer. Right over here. This is a quarter level or a 1/3 level. So I'm just want to see. I'm too late for the trade, but I hope someone caught that long. Now it's a little bit difficult, right, to take it out of when you get out of consolidation and it may start making a move. But what do you base it on, right? The only thing that you can base it on is on a macro, on time running. And then you just have to wait. For me, it's not more. I'm more interested in to see how it works when it gets up to this level, and to see if it goes either higher or it goes back down. Because I'm quite bearish for gold, to be honest. Eugene, what is your? I would love to hear your take on gold for the London session. We're above midnight. So on the 5-minute, where you see what is a beautiful, so this is the first presented fair value gap of the midnight area. So algorithmically, the algorithmic day starts at midnight Eastern, right? What the hell? And go away. I don't want to see your memory. Or you don't see it, okay. So algorithmically, the day starts here, right, at midnight, exactly here. And then the first presented fair value gap is here. And you see in the 5-minute how beautifully it tapped into the first presented fair value gap of midnight and makes its way up. Internal to external. But then again, what's the external liquidity that we're going to take? Is it going to be this one, or is it this high, right? Or is it going to be this high? Now, I do think because we have all these levels here, we might go a little bit higher, but let's watch what's happening now, especially around this. We're at 3:02. And let's see if we're going to get a continuation at 3:03. Okay, now the first presented fair value gap is printing right over here in London. The London one. My laptop is it's just, something is off, so that's why I can't. Maybe I should have restarted it properly. My bad. Okay. There we go. I would like to see it close above this area here and then continue the move. Because if we have, yeah, are you bullish until a certain level? And are you bullish for London to go up, to go down later on? Is that what you're saying? Or are you bullish London, New York? So this is what I'm looking at. Hold on. I'll show you. Let me go to another screen for gold, higher time frame. Come on, go back. I'm sorry, guys. What's wrong with you? Okay, so I just want to show you on the higher time frame. If I go to the daily, I posted it in the Discord. We were below the 79% of, hey Ellen, how are you? Evening, morning, whatever, wherever you are, and everyone. So I was looking at this. We went below the 79% of the IPTA 20. Now we're above it again, and so I'm looking at these as this area. If we do go higher, because we do have a gap here, then if we go over this level, I'll be switching to a bullish bias again. If not, I've got this sell side liquidity because we're getting to the end of the month, and IPTA does tend to The 20-day look back does tend to be respected, especially if we're on the way down, right? Because you look on the downwards, downward, but now obviously we are forming a bearish candle here on the daily. The daily now is turning bearish, but it could just be the wick, right? The daily wick, or it could just be one of those order blocks that it's forming as well. So we just have to watch. So I'll turn bullish once we go over this 0.5, which is 4,000.5, let's say. So anyway, let's see. Let's quickly have a look at NQ. I haven't been trading much NQ. Let me get rid of those models. Okay, well, I do want to show you what I'm looking at. So Asia has been overextending. So the AMR level shows you the average ranges, and we've gone over it. Every range has, so the Damasu range is, these are all Asia, and everything has been highly overextended. All the ranges have done more than they on average do. So I'm wondering if London and NQ will give some, yeah, that's exactly the point that I'm looking at, Eugene, that area on gold. That's where I'm going to assess, are we bullish or bearish? Because that's for me the target area, exactly. So on NQ, I'm just a little bit waiting to see if we're going to go consolidate in London, because we had such a large, as Asia has been quite active. Like you could see it here, right? The Asia move, Asia started here, 7 o'clock. We had a move up. Then we tapped onto on the top of the opening range gap. Then we went higher, and then we went down again, sort of like, we have a mini market maker buy sell model, and now we are actually making above average move again. So for me, I'm more thinking, with NQ, I would rather have a look at stay into gold, because I think NQ will go into consolidation for London most likely, because Asia has been quite active. Yeah. Hey, but if anyone else has a bias or analysis, let me know. I would love to know. I would love to know, because hey, listen, I feel like because the whole week, in all honesty, because I haven't been doing a lot of trading, and it's quite unusual how this week has been going and how little I have trade actually and yesterday I was very busy too, so I didn't do a London session. So I feel like I had like a holiday, and so you still need to get back into it. So it's like the levels are just not, I don't know if people share that feeling, as because price has been a little bit weird, and with the government shutdown, I guess, I don't know. I just don't know. I just feel a little bit off, a little bit to me, but it could be me. And I'm a little bit distracted because I've got a lot of things to do outside, which is hopefully done this week. I hate paperwork. Anyway. Yeah. So, you know what I'm seeing here? Okay, we rejected here. So Eugene, you're in a short already, or in a long, because you're bullish, and you said I'm targeting 4,407. Are you already in? I guess you're already in, right? I would presume. I would be surprised if you're not in. And I guess you probably were in, most likely from here already. Did you enter in this retracement? Yeah, it was a breaker trade, right? Oh, yeah, it's so clean. Look at that. I'm not going to mark the whole break. I'm just going to mark the top here. So even though you use the top candle here, you don't have to use the whole breaker, and that means it's really clean, right? It doesn't even need the whole breaker to do the retest. As you can see here, this is a beautiful, so a breaker. It got activated with this candle here in the at midnight, 30 minutes after midnight, right here, 12:30 candle. Then you have the retest of the breaker using the first presented of the midnight. So this was a beautiful entry here. And you just need the top candle of the 5 minute, not even, you don't have to mark the whole breaker. Now sometimes it can use the whole breaker, but when it just uses the top one like this, because it's also a large candle, right? And you have like a retest like this, that's solid. Then you go into consolidation, and then the bodies stay even above the breaker, but just the wicks go inside. These are all entry points, all valid entry points to get in. And then it runs after 2:53 in macro time. It starts running. So I wasn't watching, but I'm definitely going to journal that, because 2:53, beautiful run, and like Eugene says, he's targeting that area. I think that's a very beautiful area to, and I would have done exactly the same, I think, if I would have been in. Eugene and I, we seem to have similar. Okay, you added on the breaker. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, that's a beautiful area to do that. I just want to show the time again. So, like I said, when you have this price action and it starts running, right? Now we took out liquidity here, and you see exactly at 3 o'clock. So you don't, if you just want to have a short trade and you don't, like if you're in like Eugene is, you can stay in because your levels are much lower, right? You skilled in, you skilled out, and you already have a good, your average is still good. But if you would enter on a later, like you just run the macro and you just see price actions going up, you just take a scalp, and you just, when you see this candle already and it's 3 o'clock, you just be careful. I'm just saying, because and you can see how it's literally moving around the first presented fair value gap, and now we're below it. So yeah. Now, you know what I've lately seen? Yeah, I know, Eugene. I might have to start sleeping. I noticed. I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it, especially with gold, right? Well, no, I mean not with gold, with NQ. How? Well, look at this here. Wow, this has been a large move as well. Um, Beautiful low resistance liquidity here. Yeah. Yeah, I think Asia is really, I think that's, I guess I have to find a way not to have to sleep anymore. I wish we knew in advance, right? Like you have a week schedule, like you can make a week, like, okay, you know what, which days. I think there is, maybe it's just some kind of logic to it. That, okay, Asia, I guess it was sort of like predictable after the earnings, and then it starts, sometimes it runs straight away, right, after earnings, and then Asia calms down. But I guess with this price action, everything is a little bit delayed, it seems. But yeah, let's see. Now this is a little bit of a hard read, right? Because even though at 3 o'clock we sort of like we go back into consolidation, so it's a little bit difficult to read because we didn't take any significant. We are now hanging around one of those quarter levels, but let me go to my other tab. Yeah, Asia. Well, maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll find a way. I'm just looking. You know what I'm looking at. This is one of those graded levels, and we're working through it. Now we're lower, and the 3 o'clock did not give any expansion. If we're going back into this range now at the breaker, remember Eugene, we had that last week as well, exactly the same. So then it's sort of like, you want one retest of the breaker and then you want it to move away, right? Remember last week we had the same thing. We sort of go back into the breaker and we were long as well, and then um, we started to go down, and the moment it got back into the breaker, it makes the breaker after one retest, it is not really, you want one retest and you want it to go off, right? And when it starts going back into the breaker, I might, because for me, the retest of this level might be enough for it to go down again, because I am bullish for just a shorter period of time, to be honest. I'm actually bearish on gold, but I don't know if it's going to go, if it really go up from here, I will be, but then again, I'm looking, this looks, should go back into this range, right? Well, let's see. Okay, price is staying above the consolidation zone, the body, so that's good. What time is it? 3:17. Um, yeah, Eugene, I see something else also at 4,000.4. That's just so, it will be weird if it does not go up to the 4,000 level, right? Let me just. Oh, gold, oh, gold. We love you. Yeah. 0.1140. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? No, you need to be so. Okay. Now, if I look at the 15-minute on gold, let me quickly. Yeah. Oh, my laptop is really giving me a hard time. It's not doing anything. I think I really need to close it. And yeah, so I'm just going over the range here. We are over 0.5, and this is 0.62 exactly. It's also on gold. What I just noticed, the settlement price is exactly here at the 4,000 something. And so we already hit 0.5. It's also quarter level. So I'm just wondering if it's enough for gold to go back down, or are we really going into this level to the OTE golden zone, which also has a 0.5 previous day midnight point as well. So this is a very interesting point of liquidity for me around this area. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't be surprised if we do go a little bit higher. But this is just for me to really to see like, okay, are we done with the move? Are we going to go further up? But yeah, I guess gold also has a lot of movement already in Asia. So it does make sense that it's stalling a little bit, right? Just like NQ. Let me see. Well, I guess gold was a little bit more consolidated than we rejected here. Go into the range. See, now this liquidity here. This is a rejection block. Now this is liquidity here. 3925. It's a little bit of a tricky area, this, right? Because you just don't know. It could have enough to go down, but it also could go into this area. So you just have to wait till what the macros are doing. I guess that's the only way. Play macros, play small areas. Let's quickly have a look at our beautiful NQ. Okay, NQ is nicely working itself in the first opening range gap. You are going to go to sleep. Here we go. We have 3 opening range gaps below us on NQ. So if we go down, please put them on your charts and grade them. So what I always do on a Thursday is I already look at the TGIF levels, because sometimes when we have an extension week, we could go already back into the range, into the weekly range, and respect those TGIF levels. So I've already marked them here. Now, obviously, if we do go back up, you have to extend the range, but on a weekly range candle, what tends to happen, it goes back into the range, and it could stay. We could just have a lot of time consolidating within this 20 to 40% area. I'm sort of like starting to see that NQ is already starting to go into the 20 to 40% weekly candle range. But hey, let's hope. What I would like to see is that we go up again and we extend the range, and then maybe tomorrow we have a TGAP. But we could also just go all the way back down, and this could become a bearish candle. It's all possible. But I've seen it happen before in my journals that, okay, you have a bullish candle, and then we get a big movement to the downside. Yeah. And yeah, Eugene is already, so because of the 3 of those lower unfilled gaps. Now, technically, they don't have to fill it, but price is already sort of like telling me, like, I think, it looks very bearish. We have midnight here. Now, if we are going to go away from midnight very, very fast and going further away from it, and in the New York AM session, and you're still not around midnight area around 10 a.m., and we're still going to the downside, you can expect a downside, an extension day to the other side. Then we won't see midnight again. So, but I just don't hope that we are going to get that in this time again. But let's see. So especially if you mark the current week and you go, so you can also, if it goes below the 40% of the range already, and it will help you indicate, okay, we're really bearish because it already hit the 40% level of the weekly candle. So it won't be a bullish candle anymore, most likely. So we might switch bearish, and then we might go all the way down to fill all the other opening range gaps. Sometimes I leave them open for months or weeks, so it doesn't have to. They don't have to fill those gaps, right? But it's an indication, like when we do start going down, and we're below this level here, and we start going into this gap and the lower one. I don't think it will be very unlikely that it will turn bullish again. But so. Eugene, are you also shorts for NQ? Are you in a short already? I haven't traded anything yet. It's really weird for me, to be honest. I feel a little bit weird at the moment that I'm not in a trade, and I don't just. I'm technically also comfortable for not being in a trade, but it's totally not me. I guess I just need more time, a little bit, to feel comfortable. Now we do have equal highs here, and they are just inside the first percent fair value gap of yesterday's AM session. So that's pretty nice. 328. I'll just hover a little bit. Oh, there we go. Hover between gold and See, this is what I don't like, Eugene. Again, a retest on the breaker. I just don't. That makes it weak to me. So at some point, I just don't trust it anymore. Then, because we might go deeper into the breaker area, but midnight is below us. Oh. Gold is not clean at the moment. For me. I just don't like this. It's exactly the same. I can't remember if it was gold or NQ. We saw exactly the same. We had a breaker. We just went over it, and then we had a little bit of a short-term liquidity taken, and then it went back into the range, and eventually it just broke back down. We do have a liquidity level here. Exactly. Yeah. For me, I took a long off the wick into the double bottom wicks on NQ for a 1 to 5. Oh, that sounds, I'm gonna look into that, Ellen. Along at 4 past 3. I like the time as well. Let me have a look. 3. Let me go to the 1 minute here. You're using this as a rejection block then, and then okay. Yeah, it took liquidity, so that's good at a very nice time. So you were looking at this liquidity point. It takes liquidity. Inversion here. Nice. And you target, let me see. You literally turtle soup this. You took the liquidity here, you just like, and you use the turn of the macro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I probably would have, if most of likely would have waited here, but this one would have probably most likely would have make me not take it, because here I would not have the confirmation that we would go over this one. So I might have probably missed this one though, but you had a turtle soup. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, I would have liked to see a retest here, but then again, I wouldn't have a good risk reward in this area. But nice, you turtle souped it. Nice, beautiful, nice trade. Let me just go to the 5 minute because it's hard to see. It's still a hard area. I mean, but you just, actually this is pretty awesome because you literally played the liquidity sweep and you used the macro, right? Was it also, did you get out during the macro? I think so, right? 3 plus 10, 270. Okay, you just took it out a little bit later because of the, now this is, yeah, exactly. And that's when you have the turtle soups, it's a very small stop. Yeah, you just take the risk. I do that sometimes as well. But I tend to not to do that on stream. But because I don't have any other logic in that case, right? It's just like, okay, we just took a sweep here. And for me, I would have liked it to tap into the quarter level of the opening range gap. But then again, hey, listen, it was exactly the MARP. I'm just looking at the time. 14,270. Five past. Yeah. Nice trade. Very nice. So that's how you can use those macros as well, right? Like I said, if it turns, you always watch around this area, the 3 past, and then Michael loves some turtle soup. You do you. Yeah. No, I love turtles. If you can get them, they're the best risk reward, right? Because your stop is so low. You just put it below your low here because you don't have any. That's the logic, right? And then you just. But when you're in tune with the market, you can get those because you feel, you understand the flow, and you understand you're in sort of like, we're in a range, but if you understand how the range is forming, it's sort of like pretty awesome. Yeah. Let me put on my NWOGs as well because we need them. Oh, they're on. Yes, they're on. Um, turtle soup. Yeah, I think I'm getting to get really bearish on. I think we're ready to go down on gold. Um, let's see. Let's see how we're going to behave into this area here. Accumulation, manipulation. Are we back into? No, I don't think so. No. Even the 306 candle would have been great too, because 3 plus 6 is 9. Yes. You're counting them too? Okay. Yes. It does. It really does. There is logic to it, really. Um, yes. Let me also, we also need to, the 306 candle would have been great too because of the, yeah, but what you will notice is with those, especially when it is around liquidity levels, they're very, those times, but when you want to see a continuation run, um, where you took the turn exactly, you don't want to get in. What I noticed in my journaling, the 306, I would never get in for a move to the upside because the macro is then a little bit too short. But if you see those moves around the 303, 304, and then you can extend the macro with about 5 to 10. Well, technically you can sometimes add 5 minutes before the macro and 5 minutes after. So the macro starts at quarter to and ends at quarter past. And in your case, it's actually, it ran until quarter past, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, but it makes sense because the run started after 3 past 3. I don't know what time did it hit them. You can tell if the time that it hit it took the liquidity. It's very important as well. You have to start marking those, and then you can sort of like start to see logic, how it runs, and what time it ends exactly. Can this be the start of the trend up? Eugene, are you looking at gold or NQ? So this is really for me. I mean, like Alan had a good trade, but he turtle souped it. But for me, as a distribution trader, I don't really see a lot at the moment for myself to really enter. I'm just watching and getting intel for later today, and just watching the levels. I am still a little bit bearish for gold for the longer for today, later today. I could be wrong, but I really need to see it go over this level here. So this at 0.5 level of the daily wick, the discount premium concept of ICT, but it's also exactly in the OTE zone of that range. So I really want to see it go back into this range and see how it behaves here. But I don't like it when we have a breaker. We retest the breaker. Now I only mark the first top candle because especially if it's a large candle, it's a 5 minute one. But if you have a beautiful candle like this, you tend to see when you have a really strong reaction to the upside, you just want to tap into and then move away from it. But we have consolidation above it, and we are going back again into it. That doesn't make it a convincing breaker retest trade anymore for me to the upside. So I'm then already um, it's not how I play the break or retest trade. Let me put it that way. So for me, it's already okay. I really have to wait for it to go into. If it does go back up again, I will be very careful, and I would rather wait to see how it behaves here and maybe enter a short or reassess if it's really bullish and then find another entry myself. Now Eugene goes into NQ. Let me quickly. I see what you mean. Well, we are above the first percentage, yes. Well, I'm hoping it will go higher, Eugene, because I don't want it to, if it goes down already, it's sort of like the weekly objective is already done, because I'm actually hoping to get a play to the downside into those opening range gaps. So I'm hoping it goes up. So I hope we can expand the weekly range a little bit. And we don't get a TGIF on Thursday already. I do not want it to go into the retracement zone already on Thursday. But I do look at it because if it does happen, price action getting very boring on Friday as well. But let's see. So I hope it goes out of that range and we get a higher. I hope. Yeah. We want to see it place hand. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Eugene is bullish on gold, and I think we have a different. I like that. Yeah. If I look at gold, you think it might want to finalize this area, right, and go back, just tap into the and walk and go down. I think, but you think it's going to go up? Yeah. We'll see. Let's wait. Hey, 4 o'clock is coming. My favorite time. So let's see what happens. We have 15 more minutes. Did anyone play any stocks yesterday with the earnings? I don't think we have any news today, right? There's nothing, right? Is there any news on the government shutdown? Any progress or? Okay, so Trump had a good meeting with Xi. China deal agreement on many elements. Trump reduced fentanyl tariffs. Is there a tariff on fentanyl? Huh? Am I reading that correctly? Hey, you cannot bring fentanyl in the country, so I'll put a higher tariff on it. But you know what? As you bring them in anyway, okay, you're doing something good. I'll reduce the tariff on fentanyl to 10%. That's weird. Maybe I don't understand something. Is fentanyl used for anything, for something good as well? Okay, so I love that question. So 4 a.m. Is my favorite time indeed, because I've got a few models build around the 4 a.m. time. As you can see, they are printed on my screen as well. You can see them here. That's yesterday's one, and I'll have to show you. Let me go to NQ because I go into the higher time frame. Let me see. I'll use this one. I'll go a little bit higher here I'll go to the 15-minute here. It'll show. Now, the only thing is that London has changed an hour and Eastern has not. So it might be a little bit off now. But as you can see, I've got specific times. Obviously, the 10 a.m. is the start of a new 4-hour candle, and the 4 a.m. is right over here. Now, it's a little bit off in this area. I think I can't give you a good example in this area now, but the 10 and the 10 o'clock, so the 10 a.m. Eastern and the 4 a.m. Eastern, they work together. They always, it's not only the 10-4, but it's also the 4-10. And you will see at 4 a.m. we will get some, most likely we will get some volatility injection as well. But the 4 o'clock is for me also sometimes when the 10-4 doesn't work, the model, it's mainly that model is my AM model because the model has to play out the 10-4 before 11 a.m. Eastern. Now, if it doesn't work out, the 4 a.m. has another works in a different way, and what it tells me a lot of the time, what I see happening on the higher time frame, it becomes either resistance or support. So if the model doesn't work out, 4 a.m. has a different meaning to me, and I can get different information from it. But that is something that I got out of journaling. Yeah, I can highly recommend everybody to mark their 4 a.m. and just journal it and see what happens around that time. It's just, I think also 3 a.m. is the 3-7 is also, but not as strong as the 4-10. And sometimes in London or in Asia, I believe it becomes the 4-10 that you see them going back and forth to each other. But yeah, no, I'll definitely highlight it if I see things like that happening. But now, why I am, well, exactly, Method just typed it for me. I am also struggling a little bit reading the market, and my models are not as clean as they are normally. So I don't see my 4-10, don't see my 10-4. I did see my 10-4 yesterday, but then again, it was very belated. But I'm struggling as well, Method, and I'm like, you know what? I just nothing is clean to me, and also, like I said, London, it's off, right? Because we have that hour difference. And we have to wait till daylight savings in the Eastern, and then everything is ready. Then it's balanced out again. But Method, I'm also struggling. That's why you don't see me take a trade. But it's higher time frame consolidation, and models are just different. It's not working as they used to. But Alan, yeah, let's watch the 4 a.m. Because obviously it's a macro time as well, right? 350. 4:10. But I use the 4 a.m. the whole day, and I use them also 3 days back. So if I look at my 10-4 model, I don't only look at the 4 a.m. of this day, for example, because for this day, it might not be, because there are some rules for the 10-4 model. But if today's, for example, if I see that the 4 o'clock is being tapped into over and over and over in pre-market, I know my 10-4 is not going to work anymore. But then I look 2 or 3 days backwards and okay, what happened with that 4 a.m.? Is it untouched? Is it not? How did it behave? And then I can use a different 4 a.m. and a different 10 a.m. So it's not only the one of today, to make it clear. And it's not like the 4 o'clock specifically, but it's just the algorithm needs to have references to. So the only thing what happens at 4 a.m. is just either it creates liquidity, it takes liquidity, or it creates an imbalance. And the algo just refers back to specific times because it's scripted that way. That's the only thing. It needs benchmarks because it's scripted against time. So, and I guess it uses specific times against each other. That's why you see things happening over. And also another one, the root candles that I use from the DTT is the 3:12 a.m. candle works together with the 658, the 2 minutes to 7. And especially in the market maker buy or sell model, once it starts running and it crosses my 658 again, then I look, okay, where's my 3:12 root candle? That's for me just a trade. I just market order in. But that mainly happens in pre-market. So you start to learn. So those are trades I used to take on NQ because I know the levels. So and I see I can trust gold, I think similarly, but I don't know it as well as I do NQ. But yeah, so I always time just time is just there you go. Hey, Ellen already he's already sees it. Yeah, you see how powerful it bounced off it a couple of times. Exactly, exactly. Yeah. So on days like this, if nothing works, you look at those things, and then you'll see, and it'll give you some guidance. Mark it on your chart, Ellen, and you'll see more. You'll see a lot of things happening with it. And then we'll get over the if the 10-4 plays out, or if I see it differently. I always mention it like, hey, oh, this is a 4-10 or a 10-4, and I want to encourage people just to put them on the charts, and they'll start seeing things themselves as well. And maybe you see even more things than I do, because you look at it maybe in a different way. But share it with me then, please, because it's just um, yeah, it really becomes resistance or support, and it's very interesting. Now we don't use resistance and support levels, but I guess in some cases we do. Okay, look at NQ. Mm, gold. Yeah, I guess gold is becoming bearish again. Yeah. Now, like I said, I don't like it when we have a breaker and we retest it and then we go back into the breaker. That makes it weak for me. And technically, I have enough data to say, are we already bearish? Now, on the other hand, I would have loved to see it go up here, but it hit the 0.5. It went to premium. It has enough. It hit the daily wicks. It doesn't go over the 1/3 level of the daily discount wick. So it has enough to, I'm still, like I said, I'm actually bearish on gold, to be honest, for the later, but I just need more data. Yeah, 3 a.m. And someone told me the 3 and the 7 o'clock, but that's like my 312 and my 658, right? That's that little zone, but it is, it can play out very well. Hey, everything is time based, and the only thing we need to do is find those algorithmic signatures. And I think, yeah, so you do the midnight and the 3 a.m. Yeah. Yep. 3 a.m. is just as, I think, just as important as well. And I'm also watching the 2 a.m., the London 2 a.m. I think it's like free market, right? So I think there's also some, I'm trying to figure out what the, I think it works together with Asia a little bit, or maybe the New York PM session. So I haven't not done it as well as I've started doing it, but I'll get back to that. I'm trying to build a model around the 2 a.m. Time as well. But hey, it's all progress. I mean, just you keep on just looking at charts and journal it and mark times, and you'll see you always discover something new at some point. Midnight is great for me because it's 2 p.m. my time. Midnight is 2 p.m. your time. You were in Australia then, or yeah, you were. I think so, right? I think it's awesome to if you don't live in the U.S. and if you have a different time zone, we have a lot of advantages. I think it's such an advantage that we have London as well, and well, I guess some people Asia, I guess as well to to be able to trade or to get intel. Yeah, I'm a Kiwi. Oh yeah, we're Kiwi. Living in Brisbane, Australia. Awesome. I still have to go there, that area. I've never been. But yeah. Here we go. Yeah, and I think I wouldn't be surprised if we're turning really, like I said, guys, and I think I printed it in the Discord. I already marked the sell side liquidity, so I'm just waiting for more confirmation. And I just don't have the confidence like I normally have, and I'm just being honest. Like to enter a trade, even though just a paper trade, I just don't feel confident at the moment. And I guess that shows, well, like I just don't feel it. I just don't see it. I cannot really, I have some analysis, but like I said, I am bearish, but I wanted to see go here, but it does not. It's already, technically, if I listened to myself, I said, okay, it's going back into the breaker. But then again, it could always pop out of the breaker again. Is anyone in a trade right now? But I'm happy to hear like Methor also sharing that he doesn't read it properly. He doesn't feel like he can read the market. So I'm from Queenstown, where it's cold, and I want it more warmer. Hey, I moved to South Africa to get away from European autumn, but you can look behind me. You can see the weather. We've got storm here. It's been cold. Summer has started here officially. Your confidence is shaking. Eugene, we are falling apart. No, yeah, okay. But I really, I don't feel any shame in sharing when I don't see it, but it's sort of like you do get a little bit like, oh my God, am I really missing something, or is it something like now? It's like if it's one day, we always have these days, but now it's like, I mean, literally, it's almost a whole week. We had a few good trades, but now it's sort of like the whole week. I'm a little bit like, but I think it can be sometimes. It's not just a day. It can also be a couple of days. Yeah, I don't feel any, but I feel comfortable enough to share it. But then again, I don't want to, pretend that I feel, oh my God, I'm on stream and I have to know it, and I just go over what I think, and I posted in the Discord my ideas about this NQ and gold, and then yeah, for me, but one thing I'm happy to say that if I see this happen, my long, I don't trust the long anymore. But I also don't see an entry to go short, for example. But in my journaling, if I see this happening, I might. The only thing that I think is that my short bias is more in play, but I just need a little bit more information. But hey, it's almost 4 o'clock, our favorite time. Let's see what happens. Now, technically, yeah, I could extend the breaker area here because the long is still in play as long as we are in this area, right? But then again, a retest, this is not a proper retest. This is not, we cannot consider this a retest. It just makes the breaker weak. This was the I'm almost inclined to say we had a retest here, and then we had this play, and this is all for later maybe. I watch 2 or 3 of Michael's ICT before I look at the charts every day. I love that. I used to do, hey guys, I have done core content twice, and I have been, I've watched ICT every day, and sometimes I watch another video like for T-Trades examples when he goes into, he has very compact, good videos as well on topics. And what's funny, Ellen? I don't know if you see that. It's sometimes if you happen to go over a video, an old one, and then you see you watch the price section, and then hey, that looks like the same price section of the video. I don't know if you've noticed that. If you do that every day, you must have had a few of those moments. Hey, that was the price section I saw in that video. And then you see exactly the same structure, right? See 4 a.m. Nice volatility, right? I need to hear Michael's voice. Yeah. Yeah, so if you watch those older videos, but I'll make I think I already made ICT library for beginners to where to start, because I really think everybody who wants to start with ICT, you need to go to the core content. But the 12 months, I don't think all 12 months are necessary, because some things are, bonds and things like that. You can go over that at a later point. So I made the beginners, just for beginners. Where do I need to start? Okay. The basis is core, and you need to go to ICTs. You have to go through ICTs. You have to sit through the videos, and then from that point on, there are a few shortcuts. We can, as people who have gone over it many, many times and have seen everything, we can sort of like, I'm trying to make a nice list for the intermediates. Like, okay, what are the highlights, and it'll take one run, maybe. Yeah. Oh, are we going to get seek and destroy? So, and at some point there are some shortcuts, but you need to sit through the core content is the basis, and then there are. But hey, listen, what he has done, Alan, these last videos that he made. I mean, that is just, it doesn't get any better than this. Those premium discount wigs, he literally, I don't think he can share more than what he did these last few weeks, to be honest. But that's me. And again, look, this is one of those premium wicks that I used. 25%, only wicks. There is no body going through it anymore. This is the 1/3 level, by the way, not the 25%. This is 25. So that confuses me a little bit, because we still have a body candle here going through. But I'm still because it's just 2 weeks ago that he posted it, so I'm still forward testing it, so to speak. So that's why I don't trust it yet. But I think this is indicating that it's done and that it's going down. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, guys, anyone who is into ICT, yeah, Eugene says it, wicks never lie. I do not understand the comment, like wicks do the damage and bodies tell the story. I actually think I use wicks more now than I use the bodies, to be honest. For me, it's actually the other way around. Wicks tell the story because there's the manipulation, right? Yeah, but the wicks are the manipulation, and there's more, for me, there's more information in the manipulation move, because I calculate literally everything of the manipulations. Everything. All my calculations are based off manipulation. But I guess that's retail trying to fool I mean, I just really, I don't know, but well, I don't calculate everything of the but yeah, I do calculate if we have a market maker buy model, and I do calculate the standard deviations of the manipulation move to the downside before we go up and we break the breakers formed there. So wicks destroy and bodies tell the strong. And for me, my favorite PD array is the rejection block, which is a wick, and the longer they are, the better. I just love them. I just love rejection blocks. Um, like for example, this one on gold here, this nice wick, because this one went into it, and the price actually went down, then I consider this liquidity. But only because we already had this being story. Yeah, wicks destroy and bodies tell the story. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay, yeah. Well, for me, actually, the wicks tell the story. I mean, I mean, for me, the bodies are just. I guess it's logic, but the wicks tell me, like for example, when I see a wick like this, um, I want it to be rejected into before it becomes liquidity. So for me, I have more logic to it to see there's more if and thens for me in a body, which can help me frame the story better. But I guess, like same here. Um, okay, so we have a nice. This is now rejecting. Then we have here the body. This one took it out, but it didn't take out this liquid. Now we know almost for sure. The moment it starts going down, now, yeah, there is a flat bottom here. It might take one more stab into this area before then it takes this liquidity. This is not liquidity at once. It needs a few rejections, right? So, yeah, yeah, I'm always confused when people say wicks do the damage. I understand what they mean by it because wicks go, but listen, like, okay, the wicks go into certain levels. It tells you, okay, it's done. A body doesn't tell me like, oh, we are now tired. A body is just a strong body, but the wicks tell me now, okay, we are getting exhausted. We are like, for example, what I also tend to see is like if you have a wick going over a first presented. Then you have a wick in the middle of the first presented. Then you have a wick just tapping it. That tells it's going weaker, weaker, weaker. And then I frame my trades around that. Like, okay, I'm bearish now, and I've already 3 wicks that are going lower, 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 and I can't see that with bodies. Um, yeah. Well, I guess maybe I read charts a little bit different than people. Yeah, Eugene. Oh, Eugene, it's funny. We have similar trades. I noticed that very quickly. So I guess we have similar. We look a little bit same to the market, I guess. But it's interesting. I think it's. I find it very intriguing. I just love. I mean, it sounds weird, but maybe um, I love wigs. But okay, so another thing I'll share with you guys. So when we have the 813 news candle, I used to just measure the wick of the 813 news candle, and sometimes the whole wick, the whole candle, but most of the times it's a large wick, right? And I can only advise people start doing that because you'll get a lot of information. You can really predict the full move of the day using the 813 news candle. I actually made a video on it and I removed it because I thought, no, there's too much information to share there. I removed that video because I thought, no, I'm not going to share this with everyone because I'm not going to do that. So I actually put it on, but I just started the YouTube channel and nobody watched it anyway. And I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to save that information because it's very powerful. But I'm sharing it here with you guys now. But we didn't have any because of the government shutdown. We didn't have it very properly. But I will show you guys, and it's amazing how much information you get off the 813 news candle. It's a little something for next week. Hopefully. Hello, SK. How are you doing? I'm doing fine. And no trading. Again, it's just markets are just well. I want to say it's wicking, but we love wicks. I love wicks, but it's just not. We're in an area right now. We just have to wait. How about you? So we did have the 410. So I'm thinking like maybe. I don't think we're going to get a lot. We had quite a lot of run in Asia, so it's predictable that London will be a little bit more like it is, both on gold and NQ. So we're just hanging out here, talking and watching in the Yeah, and again, for me, the breaker, if I see this happening, I already know it's not interesting for me. Doesn't do anything. But um, anyone in a trade or anyone sees something. Eugene, are you still bullish on gold? Are you still bullish with this price action? Texas, yeah, TT. Hello, Texas. Hey, I've got family. I've been to Texas a lot. I've got family there in Houston and in. Gold is such an addictive asset. Oh my God, you're so funny. I think just the market is. Oh, you're still bullish. Okay, okay. I'm still bearish, but I just wanted to see. Obviously we have these those low resistance liquidity here. I see it. I see it. I see it. But um, yeah. I'm thinking it could go up here, but then I'm still. I think it's going to go up to go down, but the move up is going to be not easy because you can see it already how. But it could be the manipulation move, right? But and so Texas thinks NQ is going to go is long. A lot of wicking, a lot of wicking. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. Now, what I would like to see on NQ, I'm going to mark this wicks, I need to shut my laptop down and then it needs to restart because I think that gave you a lot of info. Here we go. I would love to see NQ hit one of these levels here in this wick. Here we go. That's one. Because it has not done any of that in the 4 hour. Um, and let's mark this wick. So when price action is between wicks like this, I just tend to I'm always struggling, and then if I look at this and that, okay, I understand why I'm struggling because we're in between wicks. And it needs to, like for example, I would like it to hit one of those. If it hits the 1/3 and goes back up, then I would be more comfortable maybe to take a long. For example, if the NQ might hit one of these levels, and then if you see it reverse, but you really wanted to see hit one of those levels and then start reversing maybe, and then maybe go to the upside here, and then yeah. For NQ, I go higher, aiming for all-time high, Asia even. Yeah, but I do think that NQ might even go into this. Well, it's going up already, right? Yeah, let's see. And Metho says for NQ, going higher, aiming for all-time high, Asia even. Yeah. I would love it to see. I do think we have to go. you see this wick here, 0.5. This is a rejection block. I think we are going to, we need it to tap into here, or maybe even here. So I do think we are going lower into this area on NQ. This will be maybe the lift off here, or maybe even takes liquidity here, and then go back into this range here. But we'll see. I mean, I like this wick. This wick is nice. Yummy wiki. If I calculate this wick, let's see if this 50% of the higher time frame calculation is the same if I would do the 15-minute wick calculation. Let me just see. No, it's not. No, it's a little bit lower. Now you do see this level here, 0.66. That's the only thing with a lot of wicks that you don't know. Okay, because I'm still forward testing it, literally, not back testing it. Still testing. Okay, are we now? Is it the higher time frame wick should I use, or is it the because now you see it's reacting over 1/3 level, right? Because I love 1/3 level, which is also a little gap here. You see that? The algo always goes back into those little gaps. So this could be enough for it to drive it higher. And then later it might go into this range here, because it will reject in this area some point today before this becomes liquidity. And Q, gold. MJ, how are you doing? Hello, hello. Look, well, it is moving up now. But I don't have, for me, I don't like the, it's just not moving the way I want to, so I guess I'm not interested, still not. I have to do one more thing with that bloody paperwork, and then I hope it's done, and then I can just, so I have to, well, it's only raining here now, we don't have any storm yet. And then get back to the charts, and then, well, that's a good thing when it rains and it's just bad weather, right? You can just sit at the charts and just do things what you like to do. No distractions anyway. Okay. Okay, let's see what Nasdaq is doing now. I just want to see what happens. So this is both are 4-hour, the 4-hour calculation wicks. Now the only thing that I am going to look into, like if I see a 4-hour, if I should leave the 4-hour and then go, if I see a wick like this, if I should move to the 15-minute, because we have such a beautiful 15, because I'm on the 15-minute on this chart, right? So the only thing that I'm going to look now, if we're going to go below the 1/3 level, if it, in that case, the 15, this wick is more practical to use the gradient of this wick only, or stick to the 4-hour wick. Because this is the full 4-hour wick that I'm calculated. And that's that ICT wick, and he only used the daily, but I don't think it has to be the daily. I think it depends on which time frame are the wicks visible. And the 1/3 are very, very powerful. So if I see something like this and I see it like sticking around and just tapping it and not going below it, and if this body goes above the 75, I should change it actually to the other side, but I guess you guys are smart enough, right, to understand it doesn't matter if it's 0.33 or 0.66, right? I actually want to put a disclaimer in my stream that it's not like if you get a troll alert, like these streams are not suitable for people with an IQ lower than 50. Sort of like, if I get someone in the stream that is a troll, I can refer them to to the disclaimer. That's sort of a joke, I guess. Mm. But ICT says he just always measures the discount wick, obviously from the bottom to the top, and the premium wick from the top to the bottom, so that he never measures. He just knows by the levels that which is the premium and which is the discount wick, right? So it makes sense, and it just makes it easier. So I will do that similarly, but I noticed that I did it wrong here. So for anyone who pays attention, yes. Anyway, so you see here it's bouncing off the the 1/3 level. The bodies are over the 75% level, and so maybe this is the level to take into account, and it doesn't even go lower here now for the time being. And it might go into the into that way. Let me just check the 4-hour again because I just want to see if I missed something. No. But a tricky area between two wicks when you have a candle like this and that, we just have. I think we have to wait until the next 4-hour candle forms, which is in 1.5 hour, and then you have more clarity. And then you most likely have to use maybe this wick, from this 4-hour candle. Ugly price action, G. Let me see, gold, to be expected. So Texas, where in Texas are you from? So my family lives in Houston, Humble, and I've got my cousin lives in Austin, but he's moving away from Austin now. But I used to go a lot to Houston. I haven't been in the US for a long time now, to be honest. I should go again, but yeah. Okay, guys, I think I'm going to leave it at this. I'm going to finalize the last bit of paperwork, and we'll be back later today, obviously, and maybe with some better price action, and then maybe we can catch some good trades and read the market as we hopefully we can see some models and just but even though this is also still very valuable, just reading the price and recognizing if it's low probability, right? Because I guess that's a win as well. Staying out of it, not losing any money, not losing any evaluations, not ruining funded accounts and stuff like that. I guess always a win. Eugene, you had a good winning trade, right? You got out. Did you get out of here at that long? Did you take profit, right? Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to leave it here. I will post. I think I'll just aim. Eugene, please. Eugene has such a good. I want to see more of your post, Eugene. I'm just watching now because of I want to see how this candle if we're going to partials but not out. Okay, you're still confident. Okay, yeah. I that's what I was so you still have confidence in the trade. Good. Okay. I like that. I'm looking now because I'm just wondering if it's going to make the move because 420. I've noticed a lot of the times you get runs at 420. Um, yeah, once I get back, I'll just post my ideas, what I'm seeing. But hey, um, oh, by the way, Eugene, Casey was under 18. He said he had issues getting into the Discord. But I gave him I saw him in the Discord, but I just gave him the member tag because I didn't know if he didn't get it because of the age. He says, I have an age restriction. He's actually 17. Um, so I gave him the member tag manually, so you know. I don't know if it has to be done anyway, but I think it goes automatically, but not in his case. But anyway, hey, see, this was the 420. Lately I noticed that it starts running. So let's see if I'm just curious because I'll journal that. If it really makes the run and takes out this liquidity in the 420 to 440 move, and then maybe it hits this level in the macro. So I'm just curious. That's why I'm watching because I saw this candle start and seeing it starting to form. We're out the breaker again, so see, I want to see a large distribution candle now. 420, 424. There we go. Yeah. Um, Flat top. First presented. It's reacting at the first presented now. Body breaker. Four 15 is 9. Retest 415, 9. That. It's going to go to 4,000 now. Yeah, I think so too. We're going to get the run now. This is a run. This is always, when it starts running around this time, I noticed that in my journals. Yeah, I think you're going to get the run now to 440. You're, we are over the first presented. Let's see. I really I like to see those things. That makes me very excited because I see time. I'm going to go to the 3 minute because I want to see. Okay, I'm going to get rid of this breaker block. We're out of it. This is. But I wanted to see over. It needs to go over this blue line. Very important. And then we have this line here. And if it gets over this line, I think it will go over to this line here. So talking about the 4 o'clock, what you see here is this little, it created a little imbalance right over here, right? So, like I said, it's not specifically 4 o'clock that's important, but it's what it does at 4 o'clock. Alan, you see there's a little imbalance right below the 4 a.m., right? You see it right over here. And if you look carefully, you saw it already rebalanced it here, but you know, little imbalances are always referred back to. So that's why this 4 o'clock, it has this little imbalance right below it. So that's why also further in time, imbalances are always those simple little algorithmic signatures, what price always goes back to. So you'll see this 4 a.m. will be used more often today, or maybe even later on in the week. Now, what I would like to see on gold, talking about, let's go a little bit further for today. Let's say price will go to the upside, right? And goes further up, and it leaves this 4 o'clock untouched. Then it might come in play later on for my 10-4 model. But then I don't want it to be touched anymore until, let's say latest maybe at 6:30ish, 7ish latest. But then after that, I wanted to move away from it again. But the best scenario will be if we go up, and we go in consolidation, and at 10 o'clock we have another move to the upside, and then later on in the AM session. But we've got, I wonder if we're getting an extension day on gold. No, we're not. No. You see, Eugene, it's not going over the 25% level here, the quarter level. We still have 10 more minutes to go in that 20 to 40 block. Let's see if it makes another run. Look at that. Welcome to the dark side, Eugene. You're going to be more addicted. Okay, you see that, guys? The trend line that I marked out. So what I'm really thinking now is that it might not go over that 25%. It's going to make another low and then maybe go up. I wonder if it's going to, because you see, it's so beautiful. Look how beautiful this trend line is. So it's creating a trend line now. And the trend line is exactly, the price is exactly bouncing off that 25% level, that blue line. So my blue lines are quarter levels, my red lines are 1/3 levels. It's bouncing off it, it's not going over it. It's a trend line. So will it take it out now, or is it going to wait for a macro to do it? I don't think it's going to run now, but let's see. I'm curious because I actually was supposed to go, but I just love this too much. You know why? It teaches me. I know if I watch it now, next time I know better what to look. Every time I look at this, and it's confusing to me, but I just watch price action, not being in a trade, I learn so much more. Let's see. Seven, 6. 2 plus 7 is 9. Yeah, so you haven't been, yeah, okay, I saw your gold was actually the pair, right? So you have not done the futures yet. Okay. But how is it really different then, the price action from the if you do the XAU USD, um I guess it's always a different order flow, obviously, but I wonder if it's just moves similarly. So when this is trend line, if it's forming one, two, three trend line liquidity, what I expect then is more that it would, I think it will go down a little bit and then to create another low and then take out the liquidity at the fourth tap then. Well, let's see. So I'm just, combining these levels with how it's forming. It's 436 now. So I did make a move from, yeah, it's going below the, let's see if it goes below the first presented. See, we've got a beautiful little gap here as well on the 3 minute. We've got a gap here. Um, so Eugene, when in 2026 are you going to move to the futures? Yeah, futures are awesome. I mean, I went from stocks into futures, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm never going back because I just need one chart only. And then that's how I got. I first started with ES, and then at some point when I started to become profitable, I was like, okay, I think I'm ready for NQ. And once I did NQ, I didn't go back to trading ES for, I think it was 3 years, literally only NQ. And now I've added gold for the first time. I just added something. But just the fact that you need only one chart and just, get to know those levels, it was for me because, oh my God, all those, watch lists, and then had to look into all those different stocks. It was very confusing for me. And I'm, just, you have to go through so much information, and just the luxury of just having one chart and just one, just one, only a few levels. It was just awesome. Yeah. Um, Now we're staying above. Let's see maybe if it goes over this level with the if it meets the macro, right? A macro does it just pulls just to take out liquidity. So what you see when you have a run like this, for example, uh, the 420 run is just a run to take some ground, but it doesn't really go into um, well, it actually does sometimes takes out liquidity, but not as higher time frame liquidity points. Then you really need to wait for a macro. Let me rephrase. You need to wait for the quarter to quarter after macro. Let me put it that way, because technically we can consider the 20 to 40. It's a sort of a macro too, I think. Um, Now this would be an entry. If I would be trading it, I would have entered. We created this displacement, and we have a retest, and it's exactly also first presented fair value gap. 436. Not a good time though. 3 plus 6 is 9 though. Oh, I've seen some people have subscribed. Thank you guys. I appreciate that a lot. Been backtesting on GC and it's going to be to my advantage. Yes. It's always a good advantage if you just backtest it for a while, right? Any instrument before you put your money on the line. There we go. Wow, even outside macro. Interesting. But no body over. I'm going to get rid of this. Hold on. No body over this. We want to see a body over this level. But this is a nice retest, right? Body's coming over the level here. See, Eugene, for me, I mean, it's also the time that it takes to make that move. It's just for me, when one would have entered really late, you see how it's stalling and how I mean, it's still a good move if you technically would take this move here. Um, if you just take it to the 25 to the level, right? If you just play the gradients, it's still 19 points. I mean, on gold, it's still a nice amount. But how long does it take from here? Let's say I add it on at 4 o'clock. That will be in the this is the retail. You can also, I don't know if you're still here, but about talking about the 4 o'clock, Alan. You can also use it as a retest of time, right? If I see a retest going through, I'll do the same with 10 o'clock. If I see a candle going through it, that's a retest. That's a valid point for me as well as entry sometimes. I use it as premium discount. So let's say I market ordered in here. What time is it? 4 o'clock. We're 45 minutes later now. And 73 to 84. That's just an hour of my time. I'm not, yeah, that's just for me. I'm not interested in that, I guess. But the thing is that I like reading price action a lot, that I find it difficult to move away. In the meantime, I'm going to get some paperwork ready. I'm just going to watch it. I want to see how, if it takes out the liquidity, so that I would be interested if to see it during the macro, we're going to go up to this area here. I hope so. I hope so for you, Eugene, that you finally get your trade and you can go back to do other things. You're hooked. You're like hooked on that chart now, right? You're not getting out until it reaches that level. He's not going. He's just going to. Oh, there we go. We go over now. Nice, 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 nice. Why is my so high? Looks weird. Yeah, we love. Oh, it's not a body, by the way. Yeah, we really like it. I mean, it is. I don't consider it a job, by the way, but I just love the charts and I just love candlesticks, I guess. I'm just really wondering if people that don't are not into it and they see us what we are doing, just looking like I was sometimes they're like, oh, what do you do now? Oh, yeah, no, I just started a YouTube. So what do you do? So well, I trade and so what do you do? And I'm like, well, um, you know, I show a chart and I talk about it, and I'm really wondering if people, I'm just really curious, like, you guys, we are in the same boat, right? But I'm wondering if I would have someone here and sees me sitting here looking at a chart, talking about this to some other people that are doing the same, and what they literally would think, like, what the hell is she talking about, and how do other people find that interesting at all? Like, okay, oh look, oh, it's going over 25% level. Oh, look at that. Oh no, you know what? Let's wait for the macro. And then I'm literally, if you think about it, I mean, I really think that my friends or my family would think that I'm literally cuckoo or something. And I guess it's so nice to have a community now that I can, we can talk about it. But, well, that's why I like to Discord, so that obviously on YouTube, I am the one I stream, so I have to do the talking. But I guess it's also nice to go live together with on Discord, where we can, everyone can talk, and we all share our vision. But I'm really thinking, like, wow, would really people, if they, they look behind me, so they see the screen and they just see some candlesticks, and they wonder, is she really? How long have I been streaming now? Oh, almost 2 hours. Is she literally just only talking about the black and blue things, and they're moving a little bit, and people are watching that? Are they listening to her? Yeah, I'm just trying to imagine if people, they have no idea what we are. Why it's fascinating, I guess. Well, well, I'm just, yeah. I think I want to try it sometimes to see if one of my friends here, hey, listen, just look and tell me honestly what you think about it. But anyway, so this 25% level is really giving us a hard time to cross it, right? The bodies, it's not doing it yet. And I just need one paper thing, and then I need to print something, and then I need to send it. Two more minutes before the macro starts. Bank. Okay, that's done. It's a lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lifestyle. And it's not for everyone. Um, and you really gotta like it, right? You really, I mean, if you really want to be, I mean, I think you can also be successful when you don't have, if you're just disciplined and you just do your thing and you get out of it. But if you really want to do what I am, like stream, start a Discord about it, talk about it so much, you really have to really like it, I think, because otherwise, imagine you're sitting here and talking about something that you really don't like. I think it will, I mean, it gets really annoying, I guess, at some point. And like I said, if I didn't have to sleep, I probably would be around in Asia as well. You see, Eugene, how this 25% level is sort of like it's not going over it right now, right? It's sort of really, I do think it will go over it at some point. But the only question that I have now is like, okay, if this is like, if we can consider this trend line liquidity and it's tapping into it, and this is like the rejection block now, it most likely won't do it maybe in this macro, maybe the next one. That's my only concern. If it doesn't go over in this, it has to start doing it now, very, very soon. Because here we wick through the 1/3. Here we are at the 25. Now we have a body through the 25. Now we don't have a body over the 25. So the bodies are not going over. Can we read this as weakness, or are we going to blast through it now? Let's see. This is bullish to me. This retest of this first presented. Let's go to the 1 minute. Okay. Now, this is bearish to me. You see how different, you see how weird it is if you go, this is the 1 minute, right? And then the 1 minute, you see it goes back and forth and now it's over it again. And the 3 minute, I noticed that if you are on days like this, that the 3 minute is more reliable. So I would be very bullish if I see a retest like this. But on the 1 minute, look how it looks on the 1 minute. You have a retest of this area and then it goes back and forth, right? It looks really different. Isn't that amazing? So on the 1 minute, it looks very bearish to me. We're just, again, consolidating and it looks like it's weak. But on the 3 minute, I would say, no, I'm bullish. I'm very bullish because it retests and we go up. But let's see how the 5 minute looks. Remember also in 1 hour you have a new 4-hour candle, right? Okay, yeah, I don't think it's gonna move up anymore until 5:20ish. It's gonna consolidate here most likely. Okay. Yeah, it's not favorable. Why? Because I think that breaker retest and then go back into the breaker, that already gives away the kind of price action what to expect. So that's why also for me that is I stay out because I don't trust it anymore. It might still go up, but I just don't think the time. It might take a while before it does it. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna do my stuff so I can be back later today, and I see you most likely in Discord, Eugene, before we come back on the YouTube, and yeah, I'll see you guys later today. Stay safe, be careful. Let price action just, I guess, do its thing, and hopefully we get better price action today, right? I hope so. Okay, guys, I see you later. And again, thank you. I do see that some people subscribed, and I thank you a lot for that. And I see you guys later. Ciao, ciao. And thank you, and everyone who just hanged out and just read price, by the way, because that's just, I really, people that just hang out, just not to only trade and for signals and just love to just watch price together. Priceless. Again.